This is an introduction to the Yang family style of the staff and spear drills. There's no actual form proper, which was each individual master's prerogative to develop his own system. The drills are based on the Pa Qua, which are the 8 Trigram system. The moves of the staff and the spear are similar, as you will see in a moment, and follow the pattern of these 4 interlocking circles, sometimes called the universal pattern. However, the staff and the spear, like all the weapon forms of the Yang family, are based on the Taoist 5 elements. There are 4 weapons which are given birth to by the principles which must be adhered to of the Tai Chi Form, which is known as the Earth Form. Therefore, the Tai Chi principles must be adhered to. These are basically the 10 essentials of Yang Cheng Fu, which are expounded in my book, Tai Chi and the Code of Life, and you will find in the Yin Yang video live in London, which I did earlier. The second of the forms relates to the Yin, which is water, which is the double-edged sword, which enhances kidney energy and internal energy. The next is the broadsword, which enhances the energy of the lung and the large intestine, as they're related to Chinese medicine. What we're going to do today is the staff, which is wood and relates to the liver and the gallbladder. Thus the muscles and the tendons are strengthened. Finally, the spear, which is the heart, looking after the circulation, vision and metabolism. You will now see the various drills of the staff which develop into the spear using the 8 Trigram method, which follows. The following postures are extensions of the normal Qigong. So here we have a back stance, and you can hold this for 5 to 10 minutes. Here's a side view. The breathing is natural and using reverse breathing. Here we have a forward stance, holding the staff out in front of you. Again, hold for 5 or 10 minutes, depending on how you did the back stance. And here we have a side view. This will help to extend the Qi into an inanimate object, i.e. the weapon, and extend the energy for the Fa Jing. Here we have the 3 basic drills of the staff which develop into all the techniques for the spear. Here we have Fa Jing, extend, Kai, open, and Ho, press or seize. You'll see this head on and then in a sideways posture. Sideways view. Here the Kai open, Ho press, Fa. Open, press, extend. These later, as you'll see in the next section of the video, are practiced with a partner. Now the sticky staff is done walking the circle, and it has a Yang, as in this case, application, Yin application, drawing down, and you've got to try and maintain the steadiness of the staff as a mild building up the pressure with your partner working together. Here we have low, Yang, pressing out or forward, and you'll see this will change into Yin, drawing in. And again, these drills are a moving Qigong. They teach control, balance and extending energy whilst on the move. And these can be practiced for the normal busy person in minutes, or, as in the case of the Yang family, for hours at a time, depending on your concentration. Now the staff drill with a partner. Here we do Kai open, hold press, Pa Jing extend. And you'll see this interacts between the partner. If you go back to the original section of this video, you'll see how this fits in. This does take practice, timing, and helps concentrate the energy and builds up practice for the spear. We have just done the staff, which involves three main principles from the Pa Qua. We have Kai, open, relates to earth. The control, or hold, which is part of the press technique. And then we have fire, which is the Fa Qing, or the emission of energy. Fa in Chinese means to send out energy. Kai means to open, hence you have the opening. Now the spear is an extension, if you like, of the staff principles. The staff was used to strengthen the qi and the intrinsic energy of the fa, of the emission of energy into an inanimate object. The spear, being much more practical and much more of a weapon during the Middle Ages of China, which went right up until the turn of the 20th century, 1904, 1905, and the fall of the Qing dynasty, when Yang Cheng Fu saw weapons coming less important and firearms coming into China and so forth. So therefore these weapons were not so sort of powerful in the martial sense. Now the spear, more to the point, is based on the philosophic Pa Qua, which comes from the I Ching. Again using this pattern of advance, retreat, look left, look right, and central equilibrium, which are the five elements. So here we have 8 techniques which I'm going to demonstrate next, which are the basis of the spear drills. The first we're going to do is from the lake, or using the elbow, thrust the energy forward into the spear. Here we have the fire, or the thrust forward technique. Here we have thunder, the upward driving energy. Here we have the open, or receiving energy. This is the mountain, or the stopping energy of the spear, which is done in a box, which is the square which represents the earth in Chinese mythology. Here we have the water, or the trick, or the dupe, to fool your opponent. Finally, we have Sun, or the wind technique, which is a downward force or a clearing force, just as the wind clears the leaves in autumn or melts the ice in spring. And I shall now do these techniques individually, and then they'll be done as a drill. These techniques are the 8 Trigram techniques, which I'm starting here with the elbow thrusting energy, or the energy of the upper arm to drive the spear forward. This is associated to the Trigram lake from the I Ching. The next posture in the sequence is fire, related to the Trigram fire, and also called the fire technique, as the energy is thrusting forward, as you can see, and was used mainly for attack, also stepping backwards for defensive reasons. The third posture is related to Chen, thunder, and is an upward raising energy, sometimes called the spade for the obvious reasons. And it is from down to up. The next solo sequence is the opening, or earth energy, i.e. receiving energy, and this can be done high or low. These are defensive, receiving energy postures which enable one to attack. The next sequence from the Pa Qua, developed in the spear techniques, is called the mountain, which is sturdy energy or solid energy which blocks an incoming force below, to the right, above and to the left, and you'll see that the spear can be turned either in an upwards or downwards position. The next posture following the Pa Qua, the 8 trigrams, is the water or trick energy, where you bind across the incoming weapon, sometimes called the snake energy, as it snakes around and whips the incoming weapon to one side, and is a trap or a trick as I retreat and then stab, and you'll see this better on a sideways view. And finally, Sun, the downward energy, or separating or penetrating force, clearing energy, as you see in this case. Now these obviously are static, which are then integrated into a moving self-defense system from the sticky spear system. Sticky spear is the same as the sticky staff, whereby we learn to control the weapon, extend our chi and jing, which is extended thought chi, by circling and using the appropriate pressure with a partner. Although it looks easy, it is actually quite difficult to maintain a steady flow. Just try it for the first time and see. But with continued practice, control will be ameliorated every time you do it. And this also extends and increases the chi potential or jing potential. And you'll see high, low, this is yang, and sticky spear, again circling the other way, and then the drawing in, which is drawing in towards you, and this is again repeated. These drills are not fixed, and they can be varied according to your own practice and training abilities and wishes. These are the basic drills which need to be expanded and practiced regularly to achieve the necessary skills. Here now I'm going to show you the 8 trigrams, starting off with heaven, which is integrated into the open, control, barn and thrust techniques. So control, which is barn, which is done in a similar fashion to the staff technique. And obviously this is speeded up as skill is increased. The next technique with a partner is the upper arm energy strength, incorporated from the lake posture of the trigram from the I Ching, lake trigram. And you'll see here that the waist turns and the end with a twist on the waist and a twist on the spear. Then the upward driving action which relates to the thunger posture from the I Ching, Chen, which is upward raising energy, which is used defensively against several incoming attacks that are aimed at the lower part of the body. The earth, which is adopted really in every posture. This is receiving the energy of your opponent, exploiting it and returning the same force back to your opponent. Continuing, we have the mountain, or sturdy or steady energy. This is to control yourself from an incoming attack which has been driven into your body and you haven't allowed yourself time to do another technique. And you'll see how it's done in a square, up, to the side, the next technique is the tricky or deceitful, underhand tricking energy, whereby the spear is taken, driven downward, and in this case driven forward. And now the trick energy using the snake technique, or binding, whereby the incoming weapon is driven away by a spiralling technique. Now at speed, this would whip the spear or weapon straight out of the opponent's hand with that energy. Last but not least is Tsai, the downward driving energy or clearing energy. Remember, these are just drills for practicing your self-defense. After these have been practiced for many times, you will find that it becomes second nature and then can be used, if needed, in combat situations. I trust that the tape is informative enough for you to practice at home the principles. The principles are based on the I Ching, which is then developed through the hand form or the Tai Chi Form proper, which the Yang family developed into weapons. But the spear, obviously, is a classic archetypal way of connecting hunting, and this is used in Alaska, South America, the Roman legions, the Zulu spear, right across. But the difference between all these different cultures is that the Chinese attach a philosophical and energetic potential to the spear itself. The Yang family then developed the spear as it was the favourite weapon of the founder of the Yang dynasty, being Yang Lu Chan. Yang Lu Chan spent about 20 years at the Chen village in central China, learning the various styles of Tai Chi that were available at that time. When he left Chen village, the leader of the clan said to Yang Lu that as he was so skilled, he would never go hungry or lack clothing ever in his life. Yang Lu then walked the 1,500 miles or so from central China to Peking with a spear on his back and a banner attached to the spear. On it, the banner said, "I challenge all comers." This was at a time in China when it was lawless and a lot of martial activity, so he had many interesting challenges on his journey. His reputation being enlarged at every conquest. By the time he reached Peking, he was famous. And the Emperor of China summoned Yang Lu to the Forbidden Palace to demonstrate his skills, where he also defeated all the champions. Yang Lu was the founder of the Yang family system. I was taught by Chu King Hung, the third adopted son of the great-great-grandson of Yang Lu Chan. His favourite weapon was the spear, and I hope you enjoyed this video.